Aging is inevitable, but losing dignity and autonomy doesn't have to be. Unfortunately, many believe that advanced age means relying on others for the simplest tasks, or that it is natural to accept a loss of control over one's own life. But what if I told you that the secrets of the ancient Vikings could completely transform this perspective? The Norse gods maintained their strength and power even in the face of the greatest challenges. And it is this ancestral wisdom that can help you preserve your independence, even in old age. You might be wondering, how can these millennial teachings be applied to modern life? The truth is that Viking wisdom and the balance between the worlds of Midgard and Asgard have much to teach us about maintaining dignity as the years go by. In this video, you will discover how the warrior mindset and the power of resilience can be the keys to a life full of inner strength, mental clarity, and emotional well-being in old age. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like to keep exploring these secrets and ensure that your life follows a path of autonomy and transformation. In Norse mythology, gods like Odin and Thor stood out for their independence and leadership. They made powerful decisions, guided by ancestral wisdom, without relying on others to maintain the balance of the realms. This autonomy was not just a matter of physical strength, but also of mental strength and clarity. Just like Odin, who sacrificed his own eye to gain wisdom, the elderly can practically seek ways to live with dignity without overly depending on their children. One practical example would be continuing to cultivate personal hobbies, such as reading or gardening, keeping mentally active and confident. Living in old age with independence is fundamental to preserving one's identity and maintaining emotional well-being. Just as the Norse gods maintain their power intact even in the most challenging situations, the elderly can seek ways to ensure their autonomy. A practical example would be learning new skills, such as using technology to manage personal finances or maintain social connections without needing to rely on others. These actions strengthen self-confidence and promote a warrior mentality, which is essential for overcoming the challenges of aging. Likewise, just as Odin and Thor did not allow other gods to interfere in their most important decisions, maintaining emotional and physical autonomy is vital for those who wish to age with dignity. The elderly can apply this concept by staying physically active, perhaps through daily walks or meditation, promoting balance and harmony. This prevents them from becoming dependent on their children, preserving their inner strength, and ensuring that the wisdom accumulated over the years does not fade away. Of course, as in mythology, there is a balance to be found, another point to explore. In Norse mythology, Yggdrasil, the tree of life, bears the weight of the 9 worlds, constantly pressured by the burden it carries. This image can be compared to what many grandparents experience when living close to their children and grandchildren, taking on responsibilities that go beyond their strength. This grandmother-slave syndrome is a modern reflection of what Yggdrasil symbolizes, an unshakable force that, however, also feels weariness over time. For many elderly individuals, the key to relieving this burden lies in recognizing their own limits and learning to say no assertively. Just as Yggdrasil maintains its central position, grandparents also become the pillar of many families. But it is important to understand that even a mythical tree needs moments of rest and regeneration. A practical example would be creating a self-care routine where the elderly can reserve time for themselves, whether to meditate, relax, or practice mindfulness. In this way, they can continue to offer ancestral wisdom without sacrificing their own emotional and physical well-being. The burden that Yggdrasil carries is also a metaphor for the emotional weight that the elderly may feel when living in constant proximity to family. This relationship, if not balanced, can wear down mental and spiritual strength. Just as the sacred tree stands firm despite difficulties, grandparents can seek support in activities that renew their energy, such as short trips, hobbies, or even learning something new, allowing the load to be lightened without compromising family bonds. After all, as in Norse mythology, balance is fundamental, a theme we will explore further. The Einherjar, the warriors who inhabit Valhalla, are known for their bravery and independence in eternal battles. They do not depend on anyone but themselves to maintain their honor and place in the Hall of Heroes. Similarly, the elderly also need to cultivate this warrior mentality, preserving their emotional and physical independence. It is not just about living alone, but about maintaining honor and dignity without becoming a burden to the family. A practical example would be taking control of their own finances, ensuring that important decisions are made with wisdom and autonomy. In modern life, many older individuals feel they need to depend on their children, which can undermine their self-esteem and sense of purpose. However, just as the Einherjar face their daily battles with courage, the elderly can find ways to remain active and productive. Simple activities like volunteering, exercising, or even cultivating a small garden can offer not only physical health, but also a warrior mentality. These practices help strengthen resilience, transforming old age into a phase of spiritual growth and self-discovery. The Einherjar would never allow their strength to be underestimated, and similarly, the elderly can avoid having their energy drained by external expectations. By seeking their own independence, older individuals not only maintain their honor intact, but also reinforce family bonds in a healthy way. A good example would be setting clear boundaries about what they are willing to do, preserving their emotional well-being. This creates space for both parents and children to maintain a balanced and harmonious relationship, a theme that continues in the next section. In Norse mythology, the balance between Midgard, the world of humans, and Asgard, the realm of the gods, is essential for the harmony of the universe. This ancestral wisdom can be applied in family life, where parents and children need to find a healthy balance between closeness and autonomy. Maintaining an appropriate distance can be the key to preserving the relationship, avoiding emotional overload, and allowing everyone to have their space. For example, by establishing specific days for visits or family gatherings, the elderly can maintain their independence without sacrificing contact with loved ones. Just as the gods of Asgard maintain their power and balance, it is important for the elderly to find ways to maintain control over their lives. However, this does not mean cutting ties, but rather learning to balance interactions. One example would be practicing mindfulness, helping them identify when they are feeling overwhelmed and the need to create spaces for themselves. By strengthening their mental clarity, they can maintain a healthy relationship with their family, preserving their autonomy without sacrificing emotional connection. The balance between Midgard and Asgard also teaches that family interactions should be based on mutual respect, where children acknowledge the wisdom of their parents without attempting to control them. For the elders, it is important to remember that their inner strength and the wisdom accumulated over the years play a vital role in the lives of their children and grandchildren. However, for this role to be fulfilled fully, it is necessary to ensure that the relationship is based on balance and harmony, an essential point that is reflected in the next topic. Mimir, the guardian of wisdom at the roots of Yggdrasil, represents the power of knowledge accumulated over time. Just as Mimir guarded his wisdom, the elderly also have a crucial role as sources of knowledge for the family. However, for this wisdom to continue flowing healthily, they must take care of themselves both physically and mentally. Practices such as meditation and regular reading are examples of how to keep the mind sharp and the body in balance, allowing them to continue being a reference of ancestral wisdom without losing their own identity. Mimir's wisdom did not wear out with time. It required continuous care, just as the elderly must look after their health and emotional well-being. A practical example would be creating a self-care routine that includes light exercises like yoga and moments of personal reflection. This kind of discipline not only keeps the body strong, but also helps preserve mental clarity, enabling them to offer valuable advice to their children and grandchildren while remaining an active and engaged presence in family life, without sacrificing their own autonomy. Just as Mimir shared his wisdom only with those who actively sought his counsel, the elderly can learn to moderate their contributions to family life. It is not necessary to always be available. Sometimes, allowing the younger ones to face their own challenges is the best way to teach. This reinforces the role of grandparents as guides and mentors while strengthening their own inner strength. Thus, They remain a source of inspiration and life transformation, without relinquishing their own personal growth, leaving a door open for future challenges. Now that you know the secrets of Nordic wisdom for maintaining dignity and autonomy in old age, the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Are you willing to apply these teachings in your life and transform the way you view aging? Remember, independence is not a privilege for the few, but a choice you can make every day. Are you ready to cultivate the mindset of a warrior and embrace the power of resilience? Share in the comments how you plan to use these lessons to transform your life. It's time to take action and ensure that you remain strong, mentally clear, and emotionally balanced, regardless of age. And if you want to continue learning more about these and other powerful topics, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This way, you will always be one step ahead on the journey of personal and spiritual growth.